Hey guys, Corpse Flood here, looking to continue the pickup video with part 2. Hope you liked the first one. We'll continue on with what we were doing. Like I said last time, I ended up filming 2 hours worth of pickups. I thought it was going to be a quick half-hour video. So this is just a continuation of what I filmed last time. I don't just wear the same shirt all the time. Well, we'll get right into it. Lots of good stuff still to come. A couple of things I bought retail. We went out of town and I stopped in the good old EB Games, which is Canadian GameStop basically. Picked up a wide variety of games. For the Wii U I got Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. Love that game for the 360, so I thought I'd pick it up. For the Wii, got Resident Evil 0. I loved it on the GameCube, so I'm going to check it out, see how it is on there. Castlevania Judgment. Love my Castlevania games, but as far as Castlevania goes, it's probably bottom of the barrel, but I did need it for the collection. I'm trying to complete my Castlevania collection, hopefully by the end of the year. Next up, we got the Bureau Declassified. Turning Point, The Fall of Liberty. Mindjack, and Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z. With the exception of Deus Ex, I think all those games were like between $2 and $5. Deus Ex I think was 15 or something, and then it ended up being cheaper at the till, so that was cool. And then I picked up a couple Xbox One games I've been wanting for a while, and one that I just grabbed for the hell of it. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan. Been looking forward to trying that since it came out, but I wasn't going to pay the $70 price tag. They had it for $40, so that was awesome. And then for $35, I grabbed Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Been wanting to play that since it came out, but another game I wasn't going to pay $70, $80 for Canadian. So I waited, and I'm glad I did. And then next up, I know it's absolute crap before I show anybody, so no one needs to tell me. But I had to see how bad it is. I got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. I think it was $15 sealed. They really wanted them out of there, and they were trying to like talk me out of it. But I was like, my buddy said, I'll give you the money for the game anyway. So it's basically a free game to try out. So he said, try it, then give it to me to try out, and then you can have it because I'm sure it's garbage. But we just had to see. Being fans of the old games, I was just like, I gotta try it. I haven't enjoyed one since probably American Wasteland, which is weird because I never enjoyed skateboarding in any way except for those games. So that was a really spur of the moment pickup. I sent it to him as a joke. I sent him a picture, and he goes, "Grab it." So I ended up biting the bullet and buying it. And then next up, I finally grabbed myself a Wii U Pro controller to play a couple of the games I got recently. I've been wanting one forever, and after flipping a bunch of stuff, pretty much everything I've bought here that wasn't a trade, I got free from just selling bundles of stuff over the local Facebook groups or to friends of mine. So nothing's hurting the pockets here. And then a couple more games I got at work here. I work at Walmart, so I got a pretty good deal on the already good prices on these, and I'm not being paid to say that. First up was my newest acquisition, Attack on Titan. Big fan of the show, and I'm a huge fan of this game. It's a lot of fun. It kind of feels like a cross between the Spider-Man games. If you ever played like any of the Spider-Man games, pretty much, it feels like the swinging around on that, and mixed with when you're trying to take down Titans, I could say it would be like the Battle of Hoth on the Star Wars game, where you got to circle around them till you get to the right spot, and then you got to attack them. So it's a lot of fun so far. It seems like a lot of the same thing, but for some reason it just seems to stay fun. So far I'm really loving it. I'm not very far in it, a couple hours, maybe 3 hours into it, but it seems like a hell of a good time. So, and it's telling the story really good. The graphics are awesome. So I'm happy with my purchase there. It's one of the first games I bought day one in a long time, so I was glad to get that. Alright, next up, We got Wasteland 2, Director's Cut. Just Cause 3. I've been waiting for this to go down. Finally went down to an awesome price, so I grabbed it. And next up I got Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I will never buy an Assassin's Creed game brand new. Not because of the debacle that was Assassin's Creed Unity, but I know they always go down within like a year or maybe even 6 months to like $20. So I was like, I'm not gonna buy that. And then went down to $20. It was in the dump bin. Most of these actually were in the dump bin. Next up, recently came out here is Resident Evil 5 and 6. I know 6 isn't the best, but I need more co-op games for the one. I like my couch co-op, and it seems to be a dying art form. So I grabbed those. 5 was alright. It was, a different feeling. But, whatever. I do what I want. And then next up, a couple other ones I was waiting to go cheap, and I was about to buy them, and then they went cheaper. So couldn't say no to that. Picked up Until Dawn for the PS4. And Bloodborne for the PS4. I've been waiting for those to go down. I just got a PS4 right before Christmas, so I got a hell of a deal on that. And I've been waiting to grow my library because the Xbox One is kicking the PS4 library's ass right now. I've got about 8-10 games up there, so versus about 40 some for the Xbox One. So time to catch up. But if it's anything like last gen, PlayStation was basically just for exclusives and their JRPGs that the Xbox doesn't seem to get. So far it's following suit there. I got a couple games like I just showed you that are awesome on the one system that I don't mind owning on both, especially at a good price. And moving on with that, I got Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness. I'm a big fan of the Star Ocean series, and I had to get that. I ended up getting that. I wasn't going to buy it. I was going to wait for it to go down, maybe grab it on Amazon. But then I ended up selling a couple high dollar games in a good bundle. So I was like, you know what, I'll grab it because I love my RPGs and I can't, I'm an addict, whatever. Alright, next up, another Facebook deal. I was actually not really looking for anything. I was just kind of bored looking on Facebook, and I seen this lady who lives across the border from me. If you don't know, I live on a border town to the States. I seen a lady in the town right across the border was selling some games. She had a box games, PS2 stuff, and PS2 stuff around here is kind of cookie cutter. So you get the same couple games, Grand Theft Autos, maybe God of War if you're lucky, and a bunch of hunting games and some crappy racing games. It's pretty much everybody's collection. I don't know if they sold a bundle of these 10 crappy games. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is good, but everybody has it. It's not in any way a hard game to find. So I kind of was just like, meh, I'm gonna overlook it. And then I saw a couple of games in there that stood out to me, so I was like, maybe I'll ask her if she'll break some of these up. So I messaged the lady and asked her, I think she wanted $100 for all of them. There was about 80 games. So I was like, you know what, that's not terrible, but I don't have a ton of money right now. And she's like, oh, someone else is taking this box for, I think she said $30 or $40. And I was like, whoa. It was $30, that's what it was. And I said, would you do 40? I'll come get it now. And she's like, yeah, okay. You beat the other guy. I was like, that's cool. She didn't let the other guy put a bid in. I went up and grabbed this, so I hadn't even seen all the games. I just knew I'd pay $40 for half of these. So, and if I was buying them on Amazon or eBay, I'd be definitely paying $40 for one of these. So, without further ado, we'll get into it. We got a good mix of PS2, and actually at the bottom of the box there ended up being some PS1 games. I'll keep those to last because I think those are the best ones. But there's a lot of really cool games in here. Starting off with some RPG goodness, we've got Radiata Stories, Dragon Quest VIII. These are the two games that caught my eye actually when I was looking. And then it's kind of a mixed bag. It's half and half. She said she played a lot, so most of the RPGs were hers. But her kids also had a few games for it, as kids will do. I'm sure in my game collection there's going to be a bunch of kids games that I don't intend to play that they'll love. And moving on, we got Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Even with my love of Star Ocean games, I didn't have that yet, so that was cool. There was actually 2 copies of it. There was one in the case, and there was one in like a crappy generic GameStop case, and they were both in good shape, so I didn't know why there was 2 copies, but ended up selling some of the other copy, or trading the other copy to my buddy Matt for a disc-only copy of Champions of Norath, Return to Arms. Hopefully I can get a case for this, because I really love the first Champions of Norath and the Baldur's Gate games that are a lot like it, so here's hoping. Moving on. We got tons of games to go still, so I better hurry up. We got Duel Masters, Final Fantasy XII, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, another good game. I love my Star Wars games. Silent Hill Origins, another game I was wanting for a while because I love my survival horrors. Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow. One of my favorites here, Star Wars Battlefront 2. My brother and I play that all the time when he comes over. We got Disgaea 2. Lord of the Rings, Aragorn's Quest. Final Fantasy VII, Dirge of Cerberus. The Legend of Spyro, The Eternal Night. Jak and Daxter. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider Legend. Alter Echo. Future Tactics. Rise of the Kasai. Devil May Cry 2. Tomb Raider Anniversary. Medal of Honor European Assault. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. Mega Man X Collection. Then the rest is kind of mixed bag. I think this is all filler. We'll read them out real quick. Avatar Into the Inferno, 2 copies of Need for Speed Underground 2, Up, Band Hero, Over the Hedge, Shark Tale, Sims 2, Naruto Ultimate Ninja 3, Jeep Thrills, Aggressive Inline, Narnia Prince Caspian, Cabela's North American Adventures, of course, Cabela Dangerous Hunts, Flipnik Ultimate Pinball, The Mummy, The Curse of the Dragon Emperor, another copy of Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, Lego Indiana Jones 1, Lego Star Wars 2, Lego Star Wars 1, oh, there's a cool one, Resident Evil Code Veronica X, and that's it for the PS2 games, well, the in-case ones that is. And moving on to the PS1, which was mostly the highlight of this, besides the couple of RPGs that are in it. Well, we also got a disc-only copy of Dino Crisis I didn't see before there. But we got some heavy hitters here. Brave Fencer Musashi, been wanting that for a long time. Harry Potter, The Sorcerer's Stone. Awesome game here. The Legend of Dragoon. If you have not played this game, you have to play this game. It's a very underrated RPG for the PS1. Tomb Raider 2. Tomb Raider 1. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Saga Frontier. Shipwrecked. Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. Spyro the Dragon. And one of the ones I was most excited about, Azure Dreams. Don't see that very often, and I hadn't seen it before that, so I was glad to get that. Alright, we'll move on. Oh wait, there also is the big bag of system crap. I got 2 PS2 Slims and some random wires. She also gave me 2 little CD cases full of disc-only games. Some pretty cool stuff in here too. We've got The Mark of Cry, Nightmare Before Christmas, Power Rocket Beach Bandits, Guitar Hero Smash Hits, Rygar, True Crime New York City, Band of Brothers, Orphan, Sign of Sorcery, that's a cool one. Mega Man X6, love my Mega Man games. Rune Viking Warlord, and a Game Shark disc. I didn't get the Game Shark, but well. And here's just a bunch of other crap I'm not going to waste your time with. But, all that for $40 was a huge win to me, I think. And then moving on with, like I said, I didn't hit a lot of garage sales this year, but there happened to be one 2 houses over from our old house right before we moved. And I was like, well, I'll stop by. I'm not doing anything right now. And got there, and there's just basically 2 tables. It was mostly just, canning jar stuff and clothes and all this other stuff. And then I saw like little bags, Ziploc bags of random toys sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, there's nothing. I was just about to turn around, and I saw this sitting there. I was like, well, now my interest is piqued, and I grabbed it and I went to the guy and I said, hey man, you got the rest of what goes with this? You got the Nintendo or any games or anything? He's like, oh yeah, that's what that's for. I knew it was familiar. He's like, yeah, I'm busy right now with the garage sale and everything, but he's like, yeah, you live a couple houses over, just come over in like 2 days or so. So I was like, alright. So I came back 2 days later, of course, because my mind was swimming thinking of all the things he might have in the house, and I was a little bit disappointed, but he had this mint, looked like he never even used it, NES. All the paperwork and boxes, or the booklets for the game even, 2 mint-looking controllers, and a copy of the rarest game in the world. I guess I put it away, but Mario Duck Hunt. So that was all he had. So I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, oh man, okay, cool. Would you do 25 for it? Because I wasn't really, I don't really need another NES. I've got a ton of them. He goes, oh yeah, sure. So I called that a win, because $25 NES, I don't need it, but for $25 I'll pick them up every day for that much. So that was a hell of a going away present from my old neighborhood. And then I think the same day, or maybe the day before, I was looking on Facebook and I seen a lady, she posted a few systems, nothing really out of the ordinary, an N64 and a PS1, but it wasn't the regular PS1, it was the PS Mini. The one with the screen. So I was very happy to find that. I didn't have that yet. I had that, actually I had that a long time ago, but I lost it, and it came with the matching controller and everything. And then she also had Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII and 2 sports games, but I've already traded those, so those aren't worth it. Oh, actually, the one with the 80 games also had Final Fantasy VII, 8, and 9, so that made that $40 score even more worth it. So yeah, that's where my luck really began. Actually, was with those 2 deals. I also got an N64 just by itself. I think she wanted $10 for it, so I was like, yeah, definitely. So I got that and the PS1 with the games. I think I paid $25 altogether for that, so hell of a deal there. There's only few other things I got here, but I'm saving the best for the last 2. The last 2 are what makes this whole pickup worth it. I ordered a few things on the internet because apparently all the stuff I got in person wasn't enough. But I've been looking on my game groups, and I've seen a couple people pick up these multi-carts from AliExpress, the 401 and the 150-in-1, and they're all legit games. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to pay the crazy prices some of the NES games are going for, so this is a cool alternative to emulating. Check it out. It's a good garage game too. I don't have to carry all my games out to play in the garage, and they're actually pretty decent for about $15 a piece. I got 401 and 151, so 550 games for $30. That's pretty sweet. Good ones on there too, like the Ninja Turtles, Castlevanias, Mega Mans, Ninja Gaiden, stuff like that. The 400 one actually wasn't as good as the 150 one. It was all choice games on the 150 one. The 401 had a bunch of games I don't know if they were homebrews or if they were just like terrible Famicom games, but I don't know, they were still pretty cool. And I was just actually testing the waters on the quality of their stuff, because I'd seen that they also carried some repro games of games that weren't released in North America, like some English translations of Japanese Super Famicom games. So I love my RPGs, as I've said a million times. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger on these after I got them. And they were a really good price. So I ended up getting a couple games I've been wanting for a long time. I got Tales of Phantasia. Big one here, Star Ocean. This is the only one that cost a few bucks. It was about $40. They had it up for, I believe, $60, but there was some kind of deal and it went down to $40, and I was like, you know what, I'm grabbing that. These other games ended up being about $26 a piece, but for RPGs on the Super Nintendo, that's pennies. We got Dragon Quest V, Fire Emblem, Thracia 776. Love my Fire Emblem games, and I have 2 of the 3 already in the Super Famicom version, so I want one I can actually read and play. And then Fire Emblem, Saisen no Kaifu, I believe it's called Genealogy of War or something like that. Secret of Mana 2, as I said earlier, Secret of Mana is one of my favorite games, so the sequel, actually I think the sequel might even be better. I got to get farther into it before I form a full opinion, but it's pretty awesome. And next up we got Terranigma. I really want to get that whole trilogy, but Terranigma I think is the only one that's not available in North America, or maybe it's the other two. I know Soul Blazer is you can get in North America, but I'm not sure. But I can't remember what the other one is in the trilogy there. And I also got Final Fantasy VII repro for the NES, and I was like, that's such a crazy idea. I just have to check that out. A couple of people told me it kind of sucks, but you know what? I played it for a few minutes of it, and it seemed pretty cool to me. So not too bad. And then what else here? While I was on the internet, I snagged a couple other things here. Some pretty cool stuff. I got Valkyria Chronicles Remastered Steelcase Edition for PS4. It was on sale. I think it was $25 or maybe $29. And I never got to play through the whole PS3 version. I don't own it, so definitely gonna catch up on it on the PS4 and try it out. Another one I've been looking for since launch day here. I work at Walmart, so I work almost every Tuesday, so I'm waiting on the launch days for almost every game, except for, you know, the Nintendo games on a Friday. So the Friday I was waiting for this game to come out, and we never got it, and I've never seen it anywhere near where I live, so I finally picked it up because it was an awesome price online. We got Xenoblade Chronicles X Collector's Edition. We never even got the regular edition. This was, I think, going for $60, and I was like, for a collector's edition that awesome, I'm gonna go for it, because it, you know, it comes with the game, an art card with some kind of art print on it, a really impressive 100-page art book. Like, I usually don't care about the art books, which is why I don't grab most collector's editions, because it just seems to be like a, you know, unless it's got a figure or something, it doesn't really interest me, because art books are like, oh, cool, and you look through it once, and then it sits on your shelf or in the box where you'll never look at it again. Also comes with this really cool metal USB drive with the, you can see it right there, with the soundtrack on it. It's the coolest USB drive I've seen in a long time, so yeah, that's actually useful stuff to me. And I need more RPG stuff for my Wii U. Actually, just more stuff for my Wii U in general. I've kind of been slacking with the Wii U collecting. And speaking of collector's editions, I also had to have this when it went on for $45. The Doom Collector's Edition. Love my Doom games, and I can't wait to dive into this. I'm in the middle of Attack on Titan right now, but I'm getting to this one right next. I can't wait to get this little the statue set up, because he's badass. I had a look at him, and yeah, I can't wait to have him on the shelf next to my TV here. Okay, now it's time for the part of the video where we do something a bit different and altogether unique. I got a pretty one-of-a-kind pickup from a friend of mine. He was moving and downsizing to a different house, so he had some stuff that was just collecting dust he wanted to get rid of, and he called his old buddy and got me to come grab it from him. So let's have a look at this stuff, shall we? Alright, here they are. First up, we've got a tabletop arcade cabinet from 1979. It's a Nintendo made game called Space Fever. It's basically an exact replica of Space Invaders, but it's absolutely awesome to have. I can't believe I've got something Nintendo this old, being such a Nintendo fan. This predates even Donkey Kong as far as I know. I'm pretty sure Donkey Kong was 81, so this is something extra special. It's actually in pretty excellent shape. Might need a little bit of paint down by the legs, but besides that, it's in great shape. Only thing missing here that I've noticed from ones I saw online was just this sheet of plexiglass to go over top of the tabletop itself. So other than that, the screen's in excellent condition considering the age of it. It's pretty badass. Happy to have that. And moving on, here was the next one we got. I've originally believed it to be a game called the Bosconian by the bezel that's on the actual tabletop itself. It's one of the double-sided ones, I believe, that used to be mainly for Pac-Man, but as you can see, it's a game called Zane Selena. It seems really cool, kind of like Contra-ish type side-scrolling shooter. I really like playing it. From what I've played so far, it's a lot of fun. The screen again is in absolutely beautiful condition. The inside was a little bit dusty, but besides that, it's in excellent shape. I'd actually kind of like to move this into an upright cabinet if I could one of these days, and then actually use this for tabletop specific game that can be played from both sides, like Pac-Man or something like that. But as far as for right now, I love it the way it is. And then the last thing, I kind of saw it on the way out, was a Ghosts and Goblins arcade cab. I don't know why it says Ghostly Goblins. Maybe that was just the original name for it. Correct me if I'm wrong. A little bit of a bummer is the PCB is missing out of this, and as you can see, there's a TV inside it that he just plunked in there. But he had a pretty good solution after he said the game didn't really work when he got it, so it was pretty much gutted when he first got a hold of it. But inside of it was a PS2 Slim system, and inside it he had a pretty cool solution. The game is a Capcom Classics Collection, and it actually has Ghosts and Goblins on it, so he actually hooked it up through there to play it. So that's a pretty cool way of working around that and still having a reason to have the cabinet around. I'd like to restore it. Maybe I'll put this game here inside of it or something like that, but as far as right now, it's probably the best condition cabinet I have aside from Street Fighter 2. Fans of the Facebook page will see that I've got two other ones that really need some work. I think they both need new screens, but besides that, the PCBs are intact, speakers work well, but the screens are just really gone on them, so that's a shame. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing with them. The bodies are also a bit beat up, so yeah, I think I'll eventually work on all of them, and maybe I'll end up using this body to just make like a MAME arcade cabinet or something like that. It's in pretty good shape. As you can see, he took a fight stick and worked her in there to be able to play some of the other games, I guess, on it. It's kind of a cool idea. I might play around with it like that for a little bit. He actually had screws mounted in the side here. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark in here. But he had PS2 controllers mounted on there to be able to play the games too. Kind of a cool idea. Like I said, I'll probably update with what I end up doing with this, but either way, awesome gift from a buddy, and I'm super happy to have it. So one of these days, maybe this garage will just be the Corpse Flood arcade. He was hoping. All right, I think that's going to be about it for episode 2. We'll continue on in episode 3 soon. Let me know what you think of the pickups in this video. What were your favorite games? Have you played any of them? Let me know. What's a good one? If I haven't played it, I'd like to hear about it. Maybe it'll add it, put it higher up in my list to play right away. Alright, yeah, as usual, like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a good day. I'll catch you next time.